Hello everyone, my name is Asmogan, and today I will be responding to a video by Wes Hammer, another 40k content creator, at least I believe so, for before this video I knew not his existence. Now it must be noted that Wes Hammer himself has declared this video was intended to be uploaded on April 1st, and that due to a scheduling error, it was uploaded the following day. However, in his own video, to quote him directly,
now, obviously I'm being a little bit hyperbolic here, and depending on when you're watching this, I'm a day or two late for April Fools. But the reality isn't 100% far off from this.
He reaffirms that the reality is not far off from this supposedly satirical video. So thus I will be responding to it as if it is a serious defense and advocation for chaos.
In the Warhammer 40k universe, there's probably no greater antagonist than that of the Chaos Gods.
True and based.
But what if I was to tell you that everything we think we know about them is wrong? That they're not the dark and evil entities that we've been told to believe they are? Now what if I told you that in the grand scheme of the 40k universe, the Chaos Gods are actually the good guys?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Your shrines will burn, your streets run with blood, your false idols shattered, your people slaughtered by the thousands, your very planet torn apart, and the barest fraction of my hatred will be satisfied.
If a man dedicates his life to good deeds and the welfare of others, he will die unthanked and unremembered. If he exercises his genius, bringing misery and death to billions, his name will echo through the millennia for 100 lifetimes. Infamy is always more preferable to ignominy. Long shall be your suffering, joyous be your pain.
Butcher your enemy's warriors without mercy, crush his armies and leave none alive. But do not stop there. Burn his cities, bomb his worlds from orbit, slaughter everything and everyone until he kneels in the ashes of those he sought to protect. Only then will he understand the true fury of the Dark Gods.
And I know this sounds a little crazy, but what if I was to tell you that every single dark and terrible thing you've ever read about the Chaos Gods was no more than Imperium propaganda?
So the entirety of the Horus Heresy is just propaganda. And the Eldar having birthed Slaanesh and having massive swaths of their race entirely annihilated and sucked up like a Slurpee by Slaanesh, all Imperium propaganda. Yes. Do share your citation, please.
Now let's talk about how the Chaos Gods are actually the protagonists of Warhammer 40k. Now, obviously I'm being a little bit hyperbolic here.
Backtracking already. And yes, hyperbolic. Yes, let's use that to describe calling the Chaos Gods the Protagonists. I think that goes a few steps beyond hyperbolic.
Now, it's true that the Chaos Gods are normally depicted as the #1 evil force in the universe, but in truth, it's a lot more complicated than that. The gods are infinitely complex. It's easy to think of them as just some crazy powerful entities in some other far-off universe for us to fight.
Effectively speaking, that's exactly what they are. Whether they are complex or not in the backdrop does not matter, if you do break down their identity within the world of 40k, as well as the narrative of the game, that is exactly what they are, simplistically speaking.
But that's just how they're depicted in the stories.
All of 40k is just stories, and it's through these stories that we understand the mythos and the universe of which we are all participating and enjoying. Without these stories, we have no concept of the Imperium, of Chaos, of Tau, of Orcs, of Drukhari, of Eldar, of any of it. None of it is even within perception without these stories. So, just stories is very dismissive of an entirely fictional universe dependent on said fictional stories. But additionally, let's focus on said stories within the universe as opposed to just the greater stories of 40k. Within universe, there are many stories which collaborate and confirm one another in terms of the depiction of chaos. It's not just the Imperium that showcases them as evil, malicious beings from another world. It is also the Drukhari, it is also the Eldar, it is also the Tau. all of these other races, with their own unique stories and experiences, have also depicted the Chaos Gods and their forces as entirely evil and horrendous, a festering evil blight upon the universe that must be snuffed out, but cannot be, for in its nature it is ever replicating, ever copying, ever more. That is chaos in these stories.
Stories that, more often than not, were written from the Imperium's point of view.
So because the Imperium make up the majority of the tales of chaos and its evil doings, we therefore can disregard the Eldar's stories, the Drukhari's stories, the Tau's. Hell, even the Orcs might write something down about them. So we can disregard those because there's just less of them.
The deep lore shows that they're a manifestation of all emotions, not just the negative ones. So how did they get here? Why are they only shown to basically be evil incarnate?
Because the fact that they represent all emotions matters not when they are ripping the head off of a child, drinking its blood, and feeding it to a flesh hound. Color me and the rest of the Imperium crazy, but one tends to focus on the epidermal crises than the in-depth, ponderous philosophy of why something is the way that it is. When it's trying to rip you in two, you tend not to think about such things.
When it comes to the true nature of the gods, we really honestly can't even begin to comprehend their vast nature.
If you are looking to overcomplicate the fuck out of them, absolutely.
And although they have a dark side, which we are all intimately familiar with, the gods also have a lot of elements to them that we would see as inherently good.
And although Hitler had a dark side, he has some elements to him that we could view as inherently good, like he was a vegetarian. This is stupid.
For example, did you know that Khorne, the god of blood and skulls, actually teaches his followers to have mercy for the weak? Did you know that Nurgle teaches us to accept that which we cannot change and not to fear death? Or what about the often overlooked fact that Tzeentch inspires people to read books and seek knowledge to better themselves? Or how about how Slaanesh, at the end of the day, just wants you to be happy doing what you love?
You serious?
Now, if trillions of people worship and serve them, they can't be all bad, right?
And I can pretty much end the video here. No, seriously, Wes Hammer for the rest of the video either circles back around to the bandwagon fallacy, or he continues to espouse about how the Chaos Gods are actually really deep, man, and there's lots of stuff about them that's really good. Just totally ignore all the genocide, the murder, destroying entire planets, absorbing every single Eldar's soul if they don't have a soul stone, etc., etc., etc. Yes, it's rather repetitive, to be perfectly honest, and it just keeps using circular logic, which is another fallacy, by the way. So, yeah, I'm gonna end it right there. I do encourage everyone to go check out Wes Hammer's video, though. It will be linked in the description below, as well as the comment section. Please, formulate your own opinions listening his full arguments uninterrupted by my memery, and also my own personal takes and responses to his ideas. I do encourage everyone to formulate their own thought processes. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye!